Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, hello and welcome back to the Kop TV. Please remember to like this video before we go any further. Of course, comment with your thoughts on tonight's game and of course subscribe if you haven't already. You've seen us on Don Robbie's channel tonight, the watch along for Real Madrid, Liverpool. Doyle is with me now. We lost 3-1, hugely disappointing. But as you said in the title here, it's not over yet.
No, we can still. We are Liverpool FC. We can do anything. We beat Barcelona. We beat We beat loads of Dortmund. We've done it loads of times and come back. So if there's anyone that can do that, it's us. We're going to Anfield in the next time. This is the way it always worked when we do our famous comeback. So. Why not, lads? I would have liked to seen it like 2-1 at least, but you know, it is what it is, lads. We'll have to make do.
Yeah, 2-1 to 3-1 is a real kick in the teeth. But with that away goal, you know, things are still. I mean, you can't rule it out. That's the point that we're trying to make. If it was 4-1, even then, still with an away goal, you wouldn't totally rule us out. But with that goal, it definitely sets us up in a way that obviously is better than coming away with no goals. But let's talk about the actual match itself. I mean, the first goal, a simple ball really from Cruz, right through the middle, in that channel again that we always talk about between Nat Phillips or the right-sided centre-back and Trent. It's that ball in the channel again. Teams target it week in, week out, and we're still not waking up to this. That was the first goal. Defensive mistake, if you want to call it that. Positional unawareness.
Yeah, I'd say that's just unexperience. It's inexperience, isn't it? Like Nat Phillips has done a fantastic job doing what he's doing.
Our best player tonight for me, Nat Phillips. Again,
probably. It was just an experience. It's how far away he is from his centre back pair and where they put themselves on the pitch. It's not necessarily just Trent as well, because that pairing has to be very coherent with each other. They need to know where each other are on the pitch at all times and need to stay at a certain distance. So if Kabak goes over here, Nat Phillips comes over here, and if Nat Phillips goes over here, Kabak comes over here, and that's what's happened. It's created that space that's just being exploited by teams. And twice, because it happened once for the first goal, and the second goal was Trent's mistake, but it went down the same channel. He attacked the same channel, and he made a mistake because of it. It's individual mistakes. The way we lost today, lads.
Yeah, Paul, that's the first goal. The second goal that goes in is it's poor, isn't it? Gifts the centre of the goal, heads it right across back towards Alisson, which is obviously what he meant to do, but Asensio reads it, chips it over Alisson. Before you know it, it's 2-0.
Yeah. Game, individual mistakes. Caught us by surprise, that one. Definitely didn't expect that Trent to do anything silly like that. Could even put his left boot through it. He could have done anything. He could have put it out for a corner. So many other things that he could have done than that. But again, you can't get on his back because he's one of the best right backs in the world. So it is what it is, lads.
At that stage, it's 2-0. Klopp then brings off Naby Keita, the player that really did raise a few eyebrows when we saw that he was starting. Thiago came on after 41 minutes, a big shout, big statement from Klopp. And then in the second half, 51 minutes, even the first 6 minutes that, was before that in the second half, the intensity is there. It wasn't anywhere to be seen in the first half. The running, the passion, the pressing, the intensity. All of a sudden, Klopp has 15 minutes with the team where he no doubt bollocks them. In the second half, we come out and perform 10 times better. And get that goal. It was lucky. It's a horrible goal. It's not a nice goal, but it's a goal. And Salah gets his 26th goal for Liverpool in the Champions League now.
Well, it's one of them, and you take what you can get. It's probably the only chance that we had in the entire game as well, to be honest. So going back to Anfield, it's not going to be easy. But the reality is we showed too much respect to a Real Madrid side that are a shadow of what Real Madrid actually are. And as soon as we went at them, we could score a goal. So again, I don't see why we can't do this at Anfield. I don't see we can't just go at them and attack them and just try and get a few goals. Because if we do that, we can score. We're not great at defence. But we can score goals.
When 2-1 happens, all of a sudden, I mean, we saw Real Madrid players laughing and surrounding the ref at half-time, which for me was just a real show of arrogance and it's not something you want to see. And then all of a sudden, 6 minutes later, there's no more smiles on Madrid's faces. We're back in the game. We're pressing. We're intense. And then a third goal out of nowhere for them. I mean, what preluded their third goal was that an excellent piece of defending, last-ditch defending from Trent. Ran the whole pitch, essentially, and blocked a certain goal. And it went out for a throw-in, not a corner, so we're cheering for that. But then, whose fault is it that the third goal happens? I mean, we see that Fabinho doesn't press Modric. We see that Wijnaldum doesn't close the space in which Vinicius scores from. So disappointing, though. That
really
is.
is.
It was a kick in the teeth.
That was, especially because at that moment in the game, we were on top, looking like we could get a second and make it 2-2, and it just came out of nowhere. To be fair to Alisson, he should have saved it, but also it came through the players' legs. Whenever the ball comes through players' legs, you've got less of a chance of seeing it. It's like a flash kick, and it was close range. But he should have done better, and he knows he should have done better. He got a palm on it. It's one of them where I think he thought he saved it, and then he seen it go in and was like, oh. Just a proper disappointment result. I feel like if we could do it again, we'd do better. And that's why I'm like, we've got a chance to do it again, so I don't see why we can't win it. We are Liverpool. That's what we do, lads.
3-1 the final score. Let's get on to the player ratings and go through. Alisson tonight really can't get more than a 6, can he? If that?
No, it wasn't.
Not a great game for Alisson tonight.
Yeah. 6.
Let us know in the comments what you think. We're going for a 6 for Alisson. Definitely not his usual self. Robbie on the stream was saying that it's been that way for a while. Diego here says it's a game of 2 halves, more pressing from your midfield in the second half. I reckon that was the case. Mustafa Ali, what has happened to us? Sadio has been poor for 3 months now. We'll get on to it. Right back tonight, Trent. Totally mixed game. There were some outstanding moments where you go, that's the Trent we know and love. Some 80-yard passes, some great crosses. But then he was at fault for the second goal. Dylan giving Alisson a 5 there. What would you give Trent tonight?
6. Just I would give him less, but he did do a few good things as well, so 6.
6, not what you want to see from Trent. Completely gave the ball away for the second goal. At fault for that. And the first goal positionally wasn't great. Centre-back, Kabak.
I'd say he had a good game. He did.
Came off with kind of 10 minutes to go, but that wasn't anything to do with it.
7.5.
7.5. Maybe unlucky or lucky not to give a penalty away. Yeah.
To be fair, he was lucky. But that referee just seemed like he wants to do all. He let all hands.
Ref was awful tonight.
The ref, even the one with Money where he got a challenge in his back. The ref wants to let it go. 6.
Yeah. Dylan agrees with Doyle. That's a 6. Nat Phillips tonight, our best player. I'm going to say it straight out. Nat Phillips was our best player tonight. For me, he gets a 7.5. Listen, he's let 3 goals in at the end of the day. He's in a defence. But trust me, if it wasn't for Nat Phillips, we lose 4 or 5-1 tonight.
Yeah, he was all right. I'm literally not enthusiastic about any of the performances because that was just, the first half was so bad. It was so bad that it doesn't matter what they did second half, to be quite honest. It annoyed me. I'm going to say, 7. Same with Kabak. I don't think either there more than Kabak did, to be quite honest. I'm just going to say that.
Right, let's go with Robertson. Some weary passes, some really tired passes from Robbo tonight that gave the ball away a lot of times. Can't really get more than a 5 for me.
5. It's hard. Never worked out. 5.
Yeah, nothing higher than a 7 really at the minute, unless you look at Phillips. Midfield, we knew Keita was a risky one to start. Comes off after 41 minutes.
4.
Can't give him more than a 4. And then next to him, you had Fabinho. To be fair, Fabinho is normally the one that we know is so reliable. But
6,
even he was giving the ball away tonight.
Everything was heavy. Everything was too long. We looked stressed. We just looked like we couldn't get. That first half was awful. There's no 2 ways about it. We lost that game because that first half was atrocious. The second half, we came out and it was an even game and it was 1-1. That's it. That first half, we just, mate, awful. None of them were getting over a 7.
Gini Wijnaldum in the middle. Layla here's gone for a 5.
I'd say 6.
6 for Gini in the middle. Captain tonight. Got a good shift in. Showed some urgency, which I appreciated. But it wasn't enough. Dylan here going for a 3 for Keita. I would have given him a 3, went off for a reason. Ginny had a terrible first half, second half much better from him, I agree with that. Sadio Mane, we had a little chat about him earlier up in the stream. Lusani says, lads, Sadio has been poor for 3 months now. Is that something you agree with? I mean, I agree with that. I don't think Sadio Mane has been anywhere near himself. Loads of times tonight he either gave up, dived, or made the wrong pass, didn't shoot when he should have shot. It's like he's just lost his killer instinct.
Confidence. The whole team's lost the confidence, except for Mo Salah, because he knows he can score goals. We've all lost it. Come back next season. That's all we can do. We've got to hope that we can do something in this Real Madrid game, because if we can't,
I mean, it's a big, big ask. We're really asking for a lot to be
2-0.
to go through.
We've got to beat Real Madrid 2-0 at Anfield. That's it. That's all we've got to do.
Mane, worst game of the season, says Cigar. Welford, who will be on very shortly, says so poor. Mane is shocking. Mane 0. Mane double Cruyff turn. No need losing the ball. And up front as well, Jota. A bit of a quiet game for Jota. Wasn't his normal kind of killer self tonight.
Still had an impact on the goal. None of them get any type of praise. No. Because the first half was awful.
Thiago came on,
much better.
Got a yellow card, didn't do much.
I think what he did do was hold that midfield so that Fab and Gini could feel a little bit more comfortable on the ball in the second half, because they definitely did. I think that's what he did. And to be honest, I think he was one of the most influential players on the pitch for that reason, because he changed the game second half. It wasn't just a coincidence that he come on and then we started playing better. He come on and done the job. He didn't necessarily get assists up or anything, good 3 balls in, but he did the job. I'd say it's a 6.5.
6.5. Again, it's mad to say it, but the highest player we've rated, again, is Nat Phillips. And that says a lot about these other team members who are simply not performing and not reaching the levels that they were last week. Jota averaged 6. Mane was a poor 4 or 5. I like the Liverpool players were showing too much respect to Real Madrid in the first half. Unusual. Jota had the energy and hunger. Hazard might be back for the second leg. Right then, that was your player ratings, Doyle fan cam, my match review, all rolled into one here tonight. And we will have some more fans coming up very soon on the channel. Do stay with us. But there you go. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 3 on the night. A lot of work to do. And really now, fortunately, those 90 minutes at Anfield next week, our whole season depends on it. And it's not in our hands. We've got a lot of work to do. We have to score 2. Really, we need 3 or 4 if we're going to make this happen. And it has been done before, so we can have that to fall back on. But like Robbie said, that time was with Van Dijk, it was with the crowd, it was with Gomez. So everything now depends on the second leg.
Yeah, it does. And we can still do it. We go into this. If you're Liverpool FC, you can go into any game thinking you can win, no matter how far behind you are. Simple as that.
There you go. Right, guys, stay with us. We'll see you very soon on the Kop TV.